Hey guys, today we've got Den jumping on to talk a little bit about Karlie's allergies and anaphylaxis, where it all started, how it all kicked off.
Yeah, so where do we start? I guess one of the first things I noticed with Karlie was that she was very, very refluxy. So I know lots of kids can be, Mackenzie was as well, but this was insane. Like the amount that she was vomiting, she was actually struggling a little bit to put on weight. So I got that sorted, but then when she started to have food, she was resistant for having food, like straight away. I remember anything she would, like you'd try and feed her anything and she'd just spit it out straight away. So even introducing food for her was hard.
Yeah.
And I had, like in my gut, I feel like it's making her uncomfortable. She was always arching her back. I was thinking maybe something was burning her when she was eating. That was the vibe I was getting. And then finally when she would start to eat food, we noticed reactions. I was having banana and peanut butter on toast, and I had that all the time. Like that was something that I would eat often, even when I was breastfeeding her, like over the top of her in the morning
pregnant,
and stuff. When it's
like
pregnant,
everything.
Yeah, so she'd had so much exposure to it. And then she was getting to the age where she was wanting to be interested in eating. And because I had that experience with her not wanting food often, I thought, oh yeah, I'll just give her like a mouthful. I already had 2 kids before. Like I knew peanuts was an allergen food, but I'd never experienced any sort of problem. So I think until you're in that position, I just think you're like a little more laxed with it. You don't think to have someone at home, like, because the other 2 were fine. Anyway, so I let her have a little bite, and then it was within only a few minutes she started to get hives all over her body.
Oh my God.
Like everywhere, all over stomach, face, and I was like, what is going on? Washed her over, changed her clothes, and took her to the hospital. Because I didn't know that was going to progress into anything further. So we took her to the hospital. They have said like she's had an allergic reaction. Then, so I thought, okay, peanuts, no go, booked into an allergist and resumed trying to eat other foods and avoiding peanuts at home. Then we gave her banana. She'd already tried banana 3 times. And then the same thing happened with banana, except for she started vomiting it everywhere as well and just very, very unwell. I thought,
wild,
yeah. So I took her to the hospital, hives and vomiting, and they've said, oh, just pretty much ride it out and give her Hydralyte. And I was like,
what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Just like ride it out and give her Hydralyte. And I was like, okay. Give her antihistamines, they said. But then I was like, okay, so if she's getting hives and vomiting, I have to give her antihistamines. And from what they had told me, it pretty much set me up to believe that if I give her antihistamines early enough, that will just stop any further reaction from happening. That's what I had
confusing,
thought.
like information.
Oh, just all the information that you'd get. Because I actually ended up going to the hospital a number of times then, whether it was banana, avocado, peanuts, dairy. There's so many things she's allergic to, but there was so many times where it was hives and violently vomiting, and every time I'd go, I'd sort of getting that sort of gist of like, it's no big deal, it's fine, just have antihistamines. And then I said to them one day, okay, but if I give her antihistamines and she's violently vomiting it up, what am I supposed to do? The antihistamines won't work. And then they're like, oh, we'll have to give her something to stop vomiting and I was like, well, you're going to give me something like that to be at home? Like I can't. It was just such a confusing time. I was like, how am I supposed to manage this? But also really dangerous because they downplayed it so much that when she had a massive anaphylactic reaction to egg, I was just trying to be cool as a cucumber at home. I was like, oh yeah, hives started. So I got a bucket ready next to her. I was like, she'll start vomiting soon. I've seen this a million times. Starts vomiting. So I ring Matt. Hey Matt, just letting you know, Karlie's having another allergic reaction. This time it's to eggs. I was really disheartened too because I'd tried eggs 3-4 times and I thought, yes, she's not allergic to eggs. But she was. It was like the 5th time.
It was like a delayed response. The body's...
Yeah.
Do you know why that happens? Like the delayed response?
If they eat it the first time, basically then their body will start to think that's a threat, and the next time you eat it, that's when it attacks. But sometimes I think it just takes a few times for that to have
exposure to it.
Yeah. So basically she's vomiting and hives, and then her behavior's going weird. She's really sooky. She's very quiet. she's going really pale. It was just so different this time. And I rang Matt and I said, I think you need to come home. This is different. So quickly got ready. By the time Matt got home, she was like floppy and starting to like go to sleep a little bit. We quickly raced to the hospital. By the time we got there, Matt was pretty much out the front of the hospital crying, like pacing. He had the other 2 kids. He's trying to be calm for them, but he was so stressed. By the time we got her out of the car to take her in, she was looking so unwell. Like it wasn't just hives. It was like her whole skin had welted. Her whole body was like one big welt, except for around her eyes were really white and her lips were going blue.
Oh my God, that is so scary.
So yeah, it was terrifying. I took her in and I said to ED, my daughter's having an allergic reaction. The lady at the desk said, okay, no problem, just take a seat.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
just take
I don't think I should take a seat. Can you have a look at my child? Like, oh, no. And then I quickly went through triage. Karlie ended up on the resus bed. Like it was so, because I said to them, what am I supposed to do? I've given her antihistamines, but she's vomiting it up. But then I learned, not by them, but later on from the allergen specialist, that antihistamines were not going to stop the allergic reaction anyway. So I was just like, wow, I have been spun around with all this information that wasn't accurate. Like I didn't know, oh yeah, I'll give her antihistamines, but then I'm going to need something to stop her from spewing so the antihistamines work. Oh wait, but the antihistamines aren't going to stop her from having an anaphylactic attack anyway. But all this time I thought they would. Like I literally was so confident, like as long as I give her antihistamines, the moment she gets one hive, it'll be fine.
No.
And it wasn't. So far she's allergic to kiwi fruit, banana, F-pies to avocado, dairy, peanuts, egg. We still have a lot of foods to try as well. It's been scary.
So scary. So scary. And I think it's like what we're doing with creating this space is to spread awareness and advocate like you needed to in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's like such an important thing.
Yeah. Well, Eva, it was really frustrating. I went to a doctor one time and I said, Karlie's been having allergic reactions. She actually had an anaphylactic reaction. And he was like, oh, no, she doesn't have anaphylaxis because it hadn't been put into the system.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, so get the EpiPen plan out and I will tell you what reactions she had and you tell me what category they're in. Told him the reaction she'd been having. He's like, oh, they're in the spot of anaphylaxis that you should be giving an EpiPen. And I was like, so you now think she's got anaphylaxis? And he's like, well, yes, I do. And I was like, I was having to like yell at this bloke and I was like crying. I was it's so complicated, like just trying to.
You have to like beg.
And I think that's so important for parents to know. You can't just sit back and be like, oh yeah, like this was just me trying to get more referrals to see allergen doctors. And just to get a referral out of this bloke was so hard.
I know.
Because he's trying to fight with me over, oh no, she doesn't have anaphylaxis. And I'm like, blue, floppy on the bed, vomiting, put on the resus bed.
Yeah, like what more do you need, mate?
What do you mean she doesn't have didn't have an anaphylactic reaction? Okay. But then,
it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I think they just talk over the top of you. They don't let you finish. And then you really have to push. Like I literally had to sit the form in front of him and say, this is what she had happen. Tell me what category that's in. And he's like, oh, that's anaphylaxis. And I was like, no, you just told me yourself.
But like that in itself is super life-threatening. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. It's because like it's awareness, it's advocacy. And I think as mums and parents, we get instincts and gut feelings and you have to go with that. Yeah. And in your situation, 100%, you've got to back yourself. Even if a doctor's questioning you or, is maybe not quite taking you seriously or unaware of the full extent of what's going on, it's like you need to back yourself and like go, I'm not going to leave here until this is,
100%, you really have to because your child's life depends on you. We've heard horrible stories. Oh, so horrible. Of people where they've tried to speak up or they've just not been taken seriously and tragic things have happened when people go home.
It's crazy to think too, like that a bread roll, like to register this to people that like don't really understand, like a bread roll literally could have killed Karlie.
Yeah. So recently we had some friends come over for lunch. They brought some bread rolls with them. She hadn't tried these bread rolls before. However, I read the ingredients on them and they were all food, like ingredients that she's able to have. And nothing in there was anything she's allergic to. So I thought, okay. And it didn't have may contains on it. So I thought, okay, well, if there was any exposure to other things, it would probably list it. Well, that's one thing that I think is really important for people in the allergy world that are new to the allergy world. Like myself, I'm still learning. Not everything has your may contains.
Or cross-contamination even.
No, not when you go into cafes, bakeries and stuff like that. I mean, if there is and someone from a bakery is listening to me and they're like, oh, we do, good on you. More people should, because this bakery didn't.
No.
Anyway, she had the bread roll and she was okay. And I was like, oh, well, she seems fine. I sort of watched her for like a little while and then she went off playing. And I think this is a really the hard part that happens when you've got, like when you're trying to socialize with people and just do the normal everyday family things.
Had some friends come over.
Had some friends come over that I haven't seen in a year or more, and you're just trying to have a chat with them and let the kids be kids and play. And they were just running around outside, and then I heard a coughing noise, and I thought, what's that? That's weird. None of my kids are unwell at the moment. And it was coming from the lounge room. So I walked into the lounge room. This was about 20 minutes after she'd had the bread roll. And she was curled up in a ball on the couch, faintly whimpering like this, and curled up in a ball, like face down in the couch, whimpering. And I had heard the cough, and then I heard her do it again. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I grabbed her and rolled her over. Sure enough, her whole face was swollen. She didn't even have a jaw. She looked and it wasn't hives. It was like back to that color that she'd had that time. She had that anaphylactic reaction with the egg. Her whole face was all red. Here was white. No jaw. It was so swollen. I was just like,
you guys would have been
shit.
freaking out.
Matt was still in the kitchen talking to our friends. And thankfully, like with our kitchen, dining and lounge room, it's all one big open area. It would have been a lot worse if my lounge room was in a different room and she'd taken herself in there to do that. So thankfully I was able to hear her coughing. Yeah, rolled her over, seen the state of her, picked her up, went into the kitchen, and I said, Matt, we need the EpiPens. Karlie's having an allergic reaction. So Matt and I just took her back into the lounge room. Matt held her. I gave her the EpiPen, and one of our other friends stood behind the couch just like trying to talk to her, like she was distressed.
Had you called the ambulance?
So I gave her the EpiPen first and then called the ambulance straight away and made sure that Matt was with her and that she didn't hop up and start walking, because you can't have them walking around. And the ambulance came so fast, thankfully.
Yeah.
We were really lucky. So they came in, assessed her, and while one of them was assessing her, the other one was drawing up more stuff to give her another needle in case the second another wave came through.
Yeah.
I think another thing people don't think of, and I hear this all the time, when they first get diagnosed with allergies or anaphylaxis, they kind of put they get 2 EpiPens and they'll leave one at school and leave one at home. That is so dangerous, and I don't know why doctors are still telling people to do that.
Because one EpiPen's not enough.
Well, no. If I gave her a hit of the EpiPen and then I was still waiting for them for so long and she started to have another reaction, I would need that second EpiPen. Or what if I got it out and it didn't work? Or, there's so many things. You need to have 2 on you. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah.
And then that goes into a whole nother world of like, you guys are really restricted with what you can do and limitations with what you can do. Like, people don't think about, I just can't go out to a restaurant.
No.
Like, you just can't go to a cafe. Like, you and Matt and the kids can't go out for lunch. And while that's probably, some people probably think, oh, well, that's not really that big of a deal. But it's sort of like, it's changed so many parts of your life. Like your social part, like everything. Can you sort of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that has been hard. We can't always take Karlie, but I think when she gets older, some things will be a little bit easier, but then that's going to be a really big mental.
Yeah, massive.
Because like, imagine we go out for dinner and we bring Karlie, and so she's at an age by then that maybe she knows not to go around touching everything, and she knows we need to wipe the table down before she sits there and stuff, but she's segregated because she doesn't get to eat the same food.
Yeah, literally.
I know that some people do have luck with restaurants. But Karlie's allergic to so many things.
So many. And it's not just that she's allergic if she eats it. That's another thing that like could be really good for you to talk about, is like it's not just that if she consumes it, it's if she actually touches something.
Yeah, it's the cross-contamination on surfaces. And I think at the moment, her being freshly 3, that is really hard because she doesn't understand.
She's like full toddler.
Yeah, she doesn't even know she's got allergies. We can talk, like tell her all the time, and she still just doesn't comprehend that she's got allergies. So she is still at that age where she's going around, and out of all my kids, she's Dani off wild thornberries. Like she will hop out of the car and see someone's old lolly on the ground or something and try and pick it up and eat it, or run up to windows and lick them and stuff. She's a menace.
And she's super social too.
And she's super social. She'll go up and hug strangers, which is beautiful, but also they instantly go to touch her because they think she's so cute. Well, she is so cute. But they go to touch her and they're like, rub her on the back or like rub their
touch her face
head
and stuff.
And instantly in my body, I'm like, oh my goodness, what have you been touching?
Like the anxiety and the gut feeling of like, oh my God, fuck, now I've got to be on edge.
Yeah.
Like it's that constant
Or she'll get little
feeling.
hives down her face then or something, and then you're like, oh, what's going to happen now? Even like the fact that my eldest daughter's at school and they'll have things on at the school, and then I feel like I can't take her, Karlie, to some of these things if they are, you know, some sort of breakfast thing or whatever. There's kids walking around with bowls of cereal, spilling milk all over the ground, and Karlie can't walk through that then. Or what if she sits, you know, like I think to the average person that doesn't navigate these things, they would just think, oh, that would be easy. But it's not.
It's so not. There is so many.
Keep in mind, I've got 2 other kids I'm also trying to navigate at the same time, which, like anybody that's a parent that's listening would be thinking, like when you go out in public, you are watching where your kids, what are they doing? You got to do, you know, what are they into? Like, don't run off, dude, you know, like.
But then there's another layer.
And then you've got this toddler who's Dani off the wild thornberries, like going crazy, but has allergies and like, yeah, it's even affected, I suppose, just like going to friends' birthday parties.
Yeah.
Or you know, going to barbecues. We can navigate going to, let's say we went to your house for dinner or like one of my other friends for dinner. Like if it was pre-organized and, you know, we came over and wiped surfaces down and stuff like that, that's okay. But the moment there's more families involved, it gets very, very hard because you'll often get bunches of kids running around together, you know, that don't have a sibling or allergies themselves, that are just used to being kids, that, you know, wild and free.
Yeah, like they're not doing anything wrong.
They're not doing anything wrong.
They just don't understand.
No, and they're not doing anything wrong. They're not having to think about these things because this isn't something that they've been exposed to. So they're just running around with, you know, their pizza or their whatever food's on offer that night. But I think dropping it on the ground and playing with the toys and like that ends up, if I do go to those places, I'm stuck there trying to run around like, kids, can you wash your hands? And I don't actually get to talk to my friends.
It's not enjoyable.
No, and some of these things may change as Karlie gets older, with her help of her awareness, but it's still going to be such a challenge because she's still going to be at risk, but also the mental load for her. I've got to do it so carefully and so tactfully that she doesn't become afraid of the world.
Oh, yeah, just that in itself's a lot. And I think that's probably like one of the biggest things why we've created this space, Den, Not Your Average Mum Club, is because not only do we have to, you know, advocate and make our own children aware, but it's like spreading that awareness to, you know, the public and our friends and our family and our, you know, the schools and the daycares and the preschools. There's got to be so much more awareness.
100%. And it's so crazy. Like, look what I experienced when I was going to the emergency department and getting misinformation about allergies. And now a lot of the doctors will say to me like, oh, I don't know as much as probably what you would know now.
And that's the thing.
Because you have the lived experience. Obviously, the allergen doctors know more than I do, but not just the general GPs often.
Yeah, but I think that's an underrated thing, is the experience. Like, we're not sitting here giving health advice. That's not what we're doing.
No.
We're sharing our own life experiences to be able to make people aware and to advocate for our kids.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there is a level that is like, when we're talking to these GPs, I feel like we actually do know more because we've had those experiences where they may never have ever seen an anaphylactic reaction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
So it's like, yeah, they are medically the experts, but we've actually had hands-on experience.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think it's really important to spread awareness as well, because even if someone listens to this and they have a friend that has a child with allergies that they just haven't really been able to speak to that much about it, or maybe there's a kid in their classroom, I hope that over time, the more information that I share and the little hacks or the little insights that I have throughout the rest of our, platform and episodes, I hope that just helps whoever's in that classroom with that allergen child, by those other mums listening to this or whatever, being able to be like, oh, maybe next time I see that mum at the school and they have their little one there with allergies, maybe I might be able to help her out somehow, or maybe I can check in, see how she's going.
Make them feel a little bit more seen and understood.
Yeah. Washing hands is just even such a huge help.
Yes.
You just eat and wash your hands and wash your child's hands. That in itself is so helpful. I know before Karlie got diagnosed, I would go to the park and, have a little picnic with the kids, and then they'd go play. But now that's not something that I can really do easily. Karlie can go running around on a playground, and there's kids that are running around on the playground with their peanut butter sandwiches or their banana or whatever. Or maybe if they don't have the food on the playground, they've just eaten it though, and it's still sticky hands touching everything. Like, if people could just be mindful of even those picnics at the park, just giving their kids' hands a wash before they go play, that changes so many lives for these little people.
So many.
And just think about it if it was your kid.
100%. And that's what I think people need to do is like, one, okay, yeah, my kids don't have these health, them looking at it like, okay, my kids don't have these health conditions, but what impact are they going to have? And I think it's like an unintentional ignorancy to, we're all living this fast-paced world.
You and I would have done the same thing before Karlie's allergies. You and I would have done the same thing. My cousin actually messaged me a few months after Karlie's diagnosis, and he was like, I never would have thought about all those poor allergen kids when I was going to play centres and playgrounds and all that stuff. And he'd say, whenever we go to these things, I will take the girls to the bathroom and wash their hands before they go play on the equipment. And it might not make that much difference to the allergen child because everybody else isn't doing it, but at least he's being thoughtful, he's teaching his children, and over time, those children are going to teach their friends, and this is how we can all make a difference. It's just one simple act of washing your hands when you have finished eating. That helps so much.
And I think as a parent too, like, not judging if you see a mum wiping down a surface or cleaning something and going like, oh, what are they doing? It's like that judgment is really hurtful because you don't actually know the story behind it.
100%. Remember what happened to me up the Gold Coast? Did I tell you about that? I think I told you about it. Maybe I didn't. So Matt and I went to Robina one day and we were shopping, and the kids, we were going to have lunch, and we took Karlie with us and we went to Betty Burgers, I think that's what it's called. There was a table there free. So I always carry antibacterial wipes in my bag. I have to wipe surfaces over. And I had Karlie's lunchbox packed. And at the moment, we're really lucky. This was probably a year ago. She doesn't really look at her food and your food at that point in time and go like, why are they having that and I'm not? Now she's starting to. But at this point in time, we could still get away with taking her lunchbox, making sure the surface was clean, and then her having her lunchbox while we ate other things.
Yeah.
So we go up to this table and I get out the antibacterial wipes, wipe it all over. And as I'm doing that, some man at the table next to me goes, imagine being married to that. And pointed to me.
No way.
I was just like, mate, I'm going to knock you out. But I didn't. I was just like,
could you imagine if that was me? I would have fucking decked him.
I think I was a bit shocked. I think you think you know all these ways you'd react and stuff, but I was a bit stunned. I think I was just a bit like, did that just happen?
Did you say something to him?
No, I thought, you know what? He's going to watch what unfolds here if he sits here long enough. Wiped it all down, got out her lunchbox, sat her EpiPen bag on the table, and then we all sat down, and obviously we were actively talking about being careful, because what even happens in those scenarios, Matt eats first, I don't eat yet, so my hands are clean. Then Matt, because he eats so fast, he eats first, he just inhales his food. And then he goes and washes his hands. There's where we sit, there's a bathroom just up from us. He goes and washes his hands, he comes back, and then I eat. So that we've always got somebody with hands that can touch her. Because the first time we ever did it, we just both started eating, and she was still at that young age where she could choke on her food, like, you know, that real little stage where they put too much in their mouth. And we're both sitting there going, who can touch her? Like, neither of us can touch her. Fuck. Like,
so that was an experience.
Matt goes running down to the bathroom to wash his hands and then come back. So then we learn, okay, one of us has to eat first and the other has to have hands to touch her. But yeah, no, that bloke, I think he just sort of watched what unfolded, because like there's EpiPens sitting on the table. We're actively talking about just be careful with your allergies, you know, like the kids all know and stuff. So I mean, I could have turned around and said something to him, but sometimes...
Yeah, it's like, what's the point with the energy?
And I don't know him. I don't really feel like starting an argument at shops, but I think that be mindful. Plus, you got your kids with you. And also, who says that sort of stuff? That just shows me what sort of person do I really want to be engaging with somebody like that? Because who says that to begin with? Even if she didn't have allergies and I was just doing it because I didn't want to catch the plague. Like,
I do it even just because I don't want my kids to get sick in like germy places.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And that is so okay.
And that's okay also because Jack, you need to. But before I had kids, I had to be careful. Mum was very, very unwell, and if Mum got a tiny bit of a cold, it would turn into pneumonia. Like, she was immune compromised. So I did have to be a little cautious. I think mind your own business.
Absolutely, mind your own fucking business. I've got to say that with the F word.
Just why comment? Anyway, there's all sorts of people in the world, and
there's some really beautiful ones that will be like, oh, you know, like really feeling for you and really like good on you, like you're doing an amazing job. And I think that's like pulling all that positive energy and like letting the shit go.
And that's who we are wanting in Not Your Average Mum Club. If you're here to be judgmental and put your 2 bobs worth in without any sort of kindness or education behind you or lived experience, and just don't bother. Like, that's not what we're here for.
Not a place for you.
No.
But we, you know, I think that's what it's all about. You know, spreading awareness, advocating for our kids, and creating a space where people do feel seen and heard and can feel safe having these conversations. Yeah. How nice is it to have a friendship where we like fully understand what each other goes through, even though what we're dealing with is totally different. And obviously we'll talk about Jack's, but it's just so nice to like me to be able to come to your safe place, your home, with full awareness and understanding of like Karlie's allergies, not just be like, fuck.
Yeah, and I think it's just about respect too. 100%. And knowing, like, you know, I don't know everything about how to do things with Jack's health, but I have the respect when I come to your house that I'm not going to be sitting around judging you for this or that, or I can just ask a question and I can appreciate that maybe you're tired because you haven't had enough sleep the night before or things like that. I think it's just different health conditions, but we both know what it's like to be on that edge where you're so scared that your child's about to die.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for sharing this, and I can't wait to keep, you know, sharing our stories, and not only our stories but other people's. So if you have a child with a health condition, or even if you're just a mum that's just like, you know, oh my God, this is a lot, we want to hear about it.
Yeah, it's not just for people with children with medical conditions either. If you're a mum that is navigating health conditions of your own, or your husband, and you just want to spread some awareness and you just feel like screaming from the rooftops how your life looks, your everyday life, trying to raise children in amongst all of that, please feel free to send your story in.
Absolutely. I can't wait to
and it's not even about medical conditions only. Like, it could be, you know, just the thickness of motherhood, or funny stories too. Like, send us some funny shit your kids
we want to hear the funny shit.
We got some.
We've got some. No, that was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.